goes viral. What's next for the former Ohio State coach?
Virtual celebrations. It's what the CDC is recommending this holiday season. We have the full list, plus the latest on J&J's booster shot.
That's the end of the game, and the Browns win it on the road here in Minneapolis.
And the Browns are now 3-1. The voice of the Browns, Jim Donovan, joins us live to talk about the not-so-pretty win and a look ahead to next week. Plus, Mike Polk Jr. gives us his take on the victory. What's new starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, Northeast Ohio, and welcome to What's New for the first Monday in October. Thanks so much for spending time with us on this Victory Monday. I hope everyone had a terrific weekend. Along with Betsy Kling, who's working from home today, I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, a very good Monday afternoon to you.
And to you too, Jay. We're going to explain why I'm working from home coming up in just a little bit. But first, we have a tragic story to begin with today. A 16-month-old girl has died after being attacked by the family's dogs in Akron on Sunday. And this evening, police are still investigating the incident to determine if anyone will be facing charges. Brandon Simmons joins us now with more on the details of what happened in this story. Brandon, this is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, really a heartbreaking story here, Betsy. It doesn't get much worse than this, really. I just want to say that we know that the family was destroyed, this according to police, after this tragic incident that they had to respond to yesterday. And really, they're still trying to figure it all out. I do want to walk you through exactly what happened. The little girl, 16-month-old Kaveh Lewis, was dropped off at this Westmoreland Street home yesterday morning to stay with her 20-year-old uncle who was babysitting for the day. And around 10:30 yesterday morning, a female acquaintance showed up at the front door, and the two got into an argument in the front porch area of the home and began to fight. Now, neighbors called police about the altercation, but little did they know what was happening inside the home at the same time was really much worse.
While they were outside the home engaged in this altercation, the little girl was left inside the house with the two family pets. It's believed that the dogs reacted and turned their aggression to this beautiful 16-month-old little girl.
Now, Kaveh was taken to the hospital, but she did die from her injuries. And police say they're still investigating to determine whether or not anyone will be charged, acknowledging that the family was devastated and that no one really wanted this to happen to Kaveh. Now, the two dogs, both pit bulls, have been removed from the home by Summit County Animal Control, where they remain this evening. And I do want to point out this isn't the first incident involving these two animals. They were involved over the summer in a case where they were said to have attacked the mail carrier in that neighborhood. We're going to have more coming up on 6 on what matters most about that story and what neighbors have to say about it, Betsy.
Certainly a lot of questions still to get answers to. Thanks so much, Brandon, for staying on the story. In other news, the eyes of many in the nation are focusing right here on Northeast Ohio as a federal trial against retail pharmacy companies began today in Cleveland. This will be the first time major retail chains like CVS, Walgreens, Giant Eagle, and Walmart will be in court to defend themselves against allegations they had a role in the opioid crisis as dispensaries. One example in the case being brought forth is that so many prescription pain medicines were dispensed in Lake County between 2012 and 2016. Each resident of the county could have had 265 pills. That increases to 400 per person in Trumbull County. The trial is expected to last 6 weeks. Ohio is the first state to take the retailers to court. Government entities elsewhere may do the same. Jay?
Betsy, now on your feet at 5, former Ohio State football head coach Urban Meyer is apologizing after video of him at a bar in Ohio went viral over the weekend. Myers is currently the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lindsey Buckingham has been following this story all day, and it's taken some recent turns even after his apology. Lindsey, not good for the former Buckeye coach.
No, it is not, Jay. This was probably not the best start of the week for Urban Meyer and his family after this video surfaced over the weekend. Here's what happened. After the Jacksonville Jaguars played the Bengals in Cincinnati Thursday night, Meyer has said he didn't fly back to Florida with his team after the game so he could get dinner with family. Later that night at his own bar, someone shot video of a woman who is not his wife dancing against him. It went viral over the weekend, but just hours before, Meyer's wife Shelley commented on another photo of the coach with friends, sharing she had stayed home to babysit the couple's grandkids with the hashtag Buddy deserved a night out. She has not said anything since, but Meyer has. At a news conference this morning, a contrite Meyer said he's apologized to his family and team.
Yeah, that's not me, and that's, oh yeah, they're upset. I just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction, just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and, you know, just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position.
Well, so far the Jaguars have not released a statement, and there is no word yet on whether or not Meyer could face discipline. Jay, a lot of people are saying that he could be fired. What is your take on this?
Well, could he be? Absolutely. Most coaches have a morals clause in their contract, and that basically is a little vague, but when you look at this video, it's cringeworthy for sure, and the Jags would probably be able to make a pretty strong case that this violated the morals of the company that they run. Already today, commentators and former NFL players are saying that he has to go. Typically, I mentioned that the head coaches have these morals clauses. When a player does something like this, it's much more difficult to get rid of the player. They have the power of the union behind them.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah, that's not the case here with Urban Meyer. Now, he's 0-4. And there are reports that things are not harmonious inside the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. He hasn't been happy, according to some of these reports, and there's a lot of dissension within the team. There is also, and this is worth bringing up, a top college job open. We know how Meyer has bounced around from these big marquee jobs. Right now, the USC job is open, and there are a lot of folks that are connecting the dots between Urban Meyer and USC. Jags had a 14-0 lead in Cincinnati on Thursday. It looked like they were going to get their first win. They blew that game and lost, falling to 0-4. Urban Meyer was in Columbus for 7 years. In those 7 years, his teams lost 9 games. He's lost almost half of that in 4 weeks. So, and when you watch him coach, it's clear this is wearing on him. Whether or not he survives this, we'll have to wait and see. I think it is telling that we haven't heard anything from the Jags yet.
I think so too, and I think the timing couldn't be worse after that loss.
Yeah. 0-4, a lot of discord with the team. We'll follow this and see where it goes next. Lindsay, thank you very much. Well, next on Your Feet at 5, we are officially in holiday countdown season. 27 days to Halloween. There are 51 days to Thanksgiving, and you see it there, 81 more days until Christmas. Now, as we near the holidays, the CDC is releasing its guidelines for gatherings. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, joins us now with that and the other top COVID news of the day. Monica, very good afternoon to you.
Hey, Jay, you know, some of these guidelines are simply common sense, and you've probably heard many of them before, and others, they're just not going to work here during a Northeast Ohio winter. So the agency advises the safest way to celebrate the holidays is by having those virtual celebrations, gathering outside in a socially distanced way, or celebrating only with the people in the same household. Now, everyone should wear a mask in areas of high transmission rates and stay 6 feet apart. If you can't celebrate outdoors, they want you to open your windows and even put a fan in the window to circulate fresh air. You know, not sure that's an option here in Northeast Ohio, unless Mother Nature keeps our temperatures above 50 degrees until January. Unlikely. Unvaccinated people, though, should not travel. And remember, those who do, masks are required on public transportation. And essentially, again, these are pretty much the same guidelines as last year. Bottom line, the best way to have a normal holiday celebration is if everybody is fully vaccinated and those who are eligible are boosted.
Yeah, and that's coming for a lot of folks now. All right, so it sounds like the coronavirus dashboard here in Ohio is getting some upgrades, some updates. What new information is now at our fingertips?
You know, data is constantly changing, so a lot of updates to the Ohio Department of Health coronavirus dashboard. First, the case definition has been updated to reflect reinfections. Those who were reinfected with COVID 90 or more days after a previous infection will now be counted as a new case as of September 1st. Another update, as you can see on the vaccination dashboard, how many Ohioans have received their booster shot. We're over 185,000 so far. And that dashboard also delineates between kids and adults. And you saw there another update, a drop-down menu for variants. You can see which variant is predominant in Ohio. Yeah, Delta, still there. And if you need evidence of the effectiveness of the vaccine, the state has been tracking hospitalizations and deaths based on vaccine status. The most recent numbers show 28,000 unvaccinated Ohioans have been hospitalized since January 1st, compared to just over 1,000 vaccinated. And with death, more than 8,000 unvaccinated Ohioans have died, compared to 146 fully vaccinated. So that data really shows you that the vaccines work.
I wish, and you and I have talked about this, at least at last count when I checked, 37 other states make the information on breakthrough cases, not hospitalizations and deaths, but breakthrough cases available. Ohio still isn't doing that, right?
No, but they are doing the reinfection.
Right,
so
that was interesting.
Yeah, that's a little interesting.
But we don't know if that was a reinfection from a virus or from a vaccine or from someone that had the natural antibodies.
Correct.
Okay, is it true? I heard that Johnson & Johnson may have a booster shot ready soon. Is that true?
Yeah, it could happen fairly soon. In a couple of weeks, you'll remember that Johnson & Johnson released preliminary data that their booster, given 6 months after the initial shot, improved efficacy to 95%, on par with Pfizer and Moderna. And they gave that data to the FDA to review. A meeting scheduled for October 15th to discuss emergency use authorization. However, the New York Times is reporting that the company could request an EUA as early as this week. Wow. Either way, looks like J&J booster is just a few weeks away from becoming available.
Yeah, a lot of this is happening now. It's taken some time, but it's all coming soon.
Yep.
All right, Monica, thanks. Great information.
Well, we told you about it not too long ago. Yes, parents, the Vax to School COVID vaccine lottery is now open, and you can register your child at ohiovaxtoschool.com. You can also call the number on your screen between 9 and 8 every day. Kids 17 and under must be registered by their parent or guardian. What is it that's up for grabs? Well, 5 $100,000 scholarships and 150 $10,000 scholarships. The state has not yet announced when the drawings will be held, but you know they're going to be coming up soon. Still ahead for us here on What's New, paying tribute. How Saturday Night Live is remembering late comedian Norm Macdonald. Coming up in your pop break. But first, our Brownies are 3-1. Jimmy Donovan joins us next as we celebrate another Victory Monday here in the CLE. But of course, first, we say hello to Matt with a peek at what's happening with this forecast tonight. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, hi, Betsy. Thanks a lot. I'll tell you, we've got a little bit of something for everyone outside. We've had sunshine, some clouds, some downpours, even ominous clouds. That will continue throughout the evening. We'll turn to fog overnight tonight. So your fall sports forecast, tread easy. Slippery grass out there where we've had the rain. We'll take that forecast over the course of the next 7 days to include more rain and a warm-up coming up.
No major injuries. Do we know anything about the ankle other than it's probably day to day or week to week, whatever?
Yeah, and I think if Hubbard is ready, I wouldn't be surprised they sit Wills.
He needs, that's what's the only way it's going to get better, right?
Yeah, Hubbard told Doug and I yesterday. Harrison had he doesn't have a concussion. Yeah, he doesn't have one.
Yeah, they
Baker takes it. Baker gives it to Hunt. Off the left side, he drives in. Touchdown! Kareem Hunt! It's back to pass. Pressure coming in the pocket. They hit him, and he throws the ball away. And the ball will go over to the Browns on downs. The snap, and he's got it, and he's back, and he rolls to the left. He's throwing towards the end zone, and it is incomplete in the end zone.
That's the end of the game.
That's the end of the game, and the Browns win it on the road here in Minneapolis.
Well, was it pretty? No. Does it count just the same? Of course it does. The Browns did it with defense yesterday. Man, were they good. They shut down the Minnesota Vikings in that 14-7 win up in Minneapolis. The run game, solid check again there. Kicking game, can't get any better than perfect. Defense, I think one of their best efforts against a good offense that we've seen in a very long time. But still a lot of chatter today as Jimmy Donovan, voice of the Browns, joins us about Baker's troubles. He was inaccurate. He had some decision-making problems. But forget all that for now. Victory Monday feels really good, and they're 3-1.
Well, they come in all shapes and sizes, right? Victories come in all shapes and sizes. This one certainly comes in a defensive look. They were amazing. As Jay points out, for 2 weeks in a row now, this defense has really come together. You know, during that Kansas City game, early against Houston, you were worried about them, but remember, they hadn't played against each other. They hadn't played at all in the preseason, but it's all starting to come together now. Greedy Williams comes up with his first career interception on a great play in front of the great Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen as he pulled that ball in. The Browns defense was sticky in the secondary, but tough up front and really became a commanding force. Imagine Kirk Cousins was hitting on 74% completion percentage going into the game. Minus the first drive of the game, the Browns shut him down and the rest of that Viking offense.
I just think getting a few games under our belt, I think you're seeing the fruits of the labor of that defensive line and what they're doing at practice. I could probably cite you a bunch of other examples because guys are playing at a high level.
They really are. I have to tell you, Jay, I don't know what Myles Garrett said to the other guys in the front four, but it worked.
Bottle it up.
Yeah, but it was unbelievable. But all of a sudden, at every level, up front, linebackers, secondary, they're all playing well. The kid Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is coming fast. He does everything at a very high rate of speed. Let's deal with Mayfield.
Yeah, what's going on, Jimmy? Should we be worried?
I think there are three things we're looking at right now. Number one, he had a bad day. They all have bad days. He definitely had a bad day all day long. He struggled throwing the football. He misses Kareem Hunt on an easy layup for a touchdown right there. Everything was high, it was wide, it was too long, and then he started to run a little bit and make bad decisions, and then he started to push the ball to OBJ, who was open all day long, Jay, and he couldn't get it to him. He misses Schwartz right there. So let's, number one, say it was just a bad day. He was 15 for 33 for a little over 155 yards.
Boy, that one hurt.
That would have been the ball game.
That puts it away.
That's the end of the ball game right there. Number two is, I wonder if he's concerned about his offensive line. His left tackle, remember, that guards his blind side. Jedrick Wills has been trying to labor through a bad ankle. He starts the game, but he does not finish the games. I think the Browns would like to get him rested. If Chris Hubbard is ready to go this week, I think he goes into left tackle, and they would shut Wills down for a week or two to get that thing calmed down and get that healthy. Left tackle, very important to a quarterback.
Huge.
Number three is the chemistry factor with OBJ.
It's not there.
It's not there right now.
No.
It was a little bit better a week ago against the Bears. I mean, he had 5 catches in that game. It was not good yesterday. It really wasn't. And I don't know how to figure that out. My fourth point would be this. He misses Jarvis Landry.
No question.
He misses Jarvis
He does.
Landry.
He does.
Anytime, Jay, he's been a little bit off, like in that Cincinnati game where he went on that consecutive completion streak. Remember, he was awful early because Beckham got hurt. What got him going? A slant to Jarvis Landry. What got him going in the Pittsburgh game? A slant to Jarvis Landry. That's the bailout guy. He's at least another week, of course, on the injured list.
All right. Well, and I wonder, too, if the contract plays in.
Could be playing into it right now. He hears a lot about that.
When quarterbacks are throwing the ball high, they're too amped up. They're pressing.
Yeah.
And boy, was he high on a lot of throws yesterday.
I take you to last night. Tom Brady, obviously very amped up for that scenario in New England. Everything was high and hard and wide early in the game. Could be the contract. I think right now I'm gonna be the guy that says he had a bad day. Let's see what he does Sunday.
Yeah.
But when you have that running game, that's the great forgiver.
And that defense now. Wow. All right,
Tremendous.
Jimmy, thanks. We'll see you at 6.
You got it.
it is pumpkin picking and corn maze season here in Northeast Ohio, and our drone captured video above Durthick's corn maze in Manaway. Now, every year, the maze picks a different theme, and this year they chose to honor essential workers. It's so cool. The maze is open every weekend until Halloween. Such a fun family event. And speaking of family, yes, I'm working from home today. So just to give a little explanation, we got a call on Friday from school that we were a close contact with a positive COVID case at school. So we are quarantining as a family until we can have a negative test come out. So we should be able to do our first test tomorrow. If that's negative, and if I test negative, I'm going to be coming into work. So we are taking every precaution possible. I'm vaccinated. Josie's vaccinated. Paul's vaccinated. But, you know, we just can't be too careful at this point. I don't want to take anything into work that doesn't need to be there at this point. So
better safe than
we're
sorry.
going to be very careful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
but
we're thinking
weather-wise,
of you.
it's been kind of nice to watch what's going on out the window a little bit and not have to run out between the raindrops and worry about my hair, Matt.
At least you have a window, Betsy. There's nothing here in the weather center. So
we gotta walk to the front of the building.
Good.
Right.
Matt, your weather word today is, and it's the word of the day after yesterday's Browns win, defense.
Got it.
Give it a shot.
We'll get that in there for sure. All right. And Betsy, can't wait to have you back, hopefully tomorrow. I mentioned her on our weather call, just how lonely it is. I have no one to talk weather. So, Jay, you're going to be the recipient of all my big weather words between breaks here. Straight showers today. This is that same area of low pressure we were dealing with last week out towards the west. It's just meandering along. There's quite a bit of moisture in place. You felt that. The humidity ramped up Saturday night, Sunday. We're stuck in kind of the humidity-filled air, and you can see that's triggered some downpours. Ominous clouds with these. Whenever you see the dark clouds, it's not indicative of severe weather. It's indicative of how much moisture that cloud's holding because the sunlight can't get through, right? So we've had some really dark clouds. No severe weather anticipated with this. You can see the area low pressure out towards Toledo. That will spiral south as we go throughout the evening hours. And then off towards the north, this jet stream is basically playing defense in terms of keeping systems from getting in here. Got it in early. Reason why, all the storm systems floating along the jet stream, this is kind of left by itself to meander along. Off towards the west coast, though, that's where the activity is. You can see a big area low pressure digging towards the Bajas of California. That will get things moving. Problem is, if you want a weather change, this thing's 2,000 to 2,500 miles away. So it's going to take some days before we get that weather pattern moving once again. Tonight, we've got that murky atmosphere. I think we lose a lot of the rain. We will have some fog as calm winds and the dew point and temperature equal each other. We'll have very moist atmosphere in place. National Designmart hour by our forecast. You could see the fog giving way to, I think, quite a bit of sunshine tomorrow. Stray shower can't be ruled out. We're going to have a beautiful day tomorrow. Outside of those stray showers, though, Union Hill Mortgage 7-day. We're up near 80 degrees on Wednesday with late day rain chances. Much of Wednesday will be dry as well. Rain returns Thursday, Friday, and then we finally kick that system out on into the weekend before we heat up out ahead of that pattern change next week. We'll be back with more What's New after this.
Hi, we're going to be talking about SNL and Norm Macdonald. Oh, I don't like when I have to sit.
It is time for our daily pop break, and for that we say hello to Kiara Cotton. Kiara, good afternoon to you. SNL is back. They had their season debut on Saturday, and they made sure to take the time to remember a dear old friend.
That's right, Jay. The Weekend Update had very special meaning this week. The 47th season of SNL premiered this weekend, and the long-running sketch comedy show paid homage to the late Norm Macdonald. Pete Davidson wore a shirt with Macdonald's picture on it as he joined his fellow cast members on set for a video montage of the star's work on the show. Macdonald appeared on the show for 5 seasons in the 90s and was best known for hosting the Weekend Update and his impressions of David Letterman and Burt Reynolds. Norm Macdonald passed away last month after a long bout with cancer. He was 61 years old. And Justin Bieber is yet again letting fans into his world. The trailer for the music superstar's latest documentary, titled Our World, was released over the weekend. The 90-minute documentary follows Bieber behind the scenes as he prepares for his New Year's Eve 2020 concert. The concert took place at the Beverly Hilton Hotel and marked the 27-year-old's first time performing a full concert in 3 years. Justin Bieber, Our World, will be released October 8th on Amazon Prime Video. And Captain Kirk is headed to space. Actor William Shatner, at 90 years old, will join Jeff Bezos' next flight to space on the Blue Origin. They are set to take off October 12th. Now, Jay, I know we talked about this before, but would you be willing to go to space?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd go in a heartbeat.
I don't know if I'd go at 90, but I'd be willing to go.
Hey, look, I give him a lot of credit. I mean, he's finally going to be beamed up. I mean, it's for real. 90 years old.
Right? And I mean, I guess he's still agile enough to make it happen, so more power to him.
Yeah. All right. Keith, thank you.
Sure thing.
If you're offered the over-under on how many times he says beam me up, go over all the way. All right, coming up in the next half hour on What's New. From the CDC ahead of the holiday season, what the agency is advising now that vaccines are in the picture this year. Plus, it's Money Monday from early holiday deals, taco night freebies, and a big jackpot tonight with the Powerball. We have everything you need to know. And our Browns, they're 3-1. So you know Mike Polk has some thoughts on yesterday's game against the Vikings. We'll have that and a whole lot more, of course, coming up when What's New returns.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Here are 3 things you need to know now at 5:30. A family dog attacked and killed a 16-month-old girl in Akron yesterday. According to police, Kevay Lewis's 20-year-old uncle was babysitting her when his female acquaintance showed up at the door. Those two got into an argument on the front porch, prompting neighbors to call the police. But little did they know what was happening inside was so much worse. Police believe the dogs reacted to the argument and took their aggression out on the little girl. She was taken to the hospital but died from her injuries. Now, this isn't the first incident that occurred involving these 2 animals. The dogs were involved in an attack on a mailman over the summer and also on neighbors. Brandon Simmons will have more on this coming up on What Matters Most at 6.
Betsy, former Ohio State football coach Urban Meyer has apologized after a video went viral over the weekend. It shows video of a woman dancing on him who is not his wife at a bar. This happened in Columbus. The video was posted after the Jags lost to the Bengals on Thursday in Cincinnati. Today, he apologized to his team for being a distraction, saying it was stupid and he shouldn't have put himself in that situation. He also apologized to his family, saying they were upset about the video.
And the CDC announced its guidelines for the holiday season. No surprise, they are recommending that people who are not vaccinated travel. Don't travel if you're not vaccinated. They also say the safest way to celebrate is virtually. If you do get together, the CDC recommends either doing it outside at a safe social distance or, as Monica Robbins told us, with the window open and a fan. So that's going to work great here in Northeast Ohio through the winter months. You never know. Or Ohio weather, it could be 60 and raining. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I think a lot of it just goes back to some common sense. And with all of that, of course, we welcome you back to What's New on this Monday. I'm Betsy Kling, working from home today. We are kind of burning off any bad juju with potential COVIDness picked up at school. So hopefully I'll be back in the studios tomorrow.
That is certainly the hope, and we're all thinking of you guys. I'm sure everything will work out fine. Happy Victory Monday to everyone watching at home today. And unless you're a Steelers fan, I had to stick that in there because they're now 1-3. But the Browns are 3-1. They're in first place. The win yesterday was impressive, mainly because of the defense. The Browns held a top 5 NFL offense to just the 1 touchdown to open the game, and then that was it. This is the first time since 1995 that the Browns have held back-to-back opponents to single-digit point totals. Obviously, our resident observationist, Mike Polk, watched every snap with a keen eye. And here now are Mike's thoughts from the Week 4 win.
Oh, sorry, everyone. I was just enjoying a crisp, refreshing RC Cola, the official cola sponsor of the Cleveland Browns. That's no joke. While 30 of the 32 NFL teams are sponsored by highfalutin show-off brands Coke and Pepsi, only Cleveland and the Chicago Bears got into bed with Royal Crown Cola, the Cooper Manning of soda pop. Some people think that having RC as a sponsor makes the organization seem low rent and janky, but I personally love that we're rep by the underdog soda. I think it fits our vibe perfectly, and I love that because it's the only pop that's allowed to be served in Brown Stadium, that means that the fancy people in their corporate suites are forced to drink RC Cola as well, just like us commoners. Imagine their horror. RC Cola is fine. Is it as good as Coke or Pepsi? That's subjective, of course, but no. Well, yesterday's unattractive win over the Vikings was the RC Cola of victories. That's where I was going with this. Now, would I have preferred that it looked more like last week's Coca-Cola style win, where the Browns easily waltzed to victory over Chicago? Of course. That was fun and I wasn't stressed for a moment. But sometimes your preferred beverage just isn't available, folks. And if you still want a soda, you have to settle for an off-brand product that might not leave a great aftertaste. And such was the case yesterday when the Browns got the win, despite the fact that the offense simply wasn't clicking. Some of the play calling was uncharacteristically bad. Baker was bad. It's obvious that something was just off and he had a rough day. Unsurprisingly, a lot of people flipped the heck out and started questioning everything. Was Baker hurt? Is he having some sort of an episode? How will this affect his contract negotiations? Should we start Case Keenum? Are the Browns going to move the team to Memphis because of this? And I get it. Settle down. As a fan base that has been ritualistically traumatized unlike any other over the past 25 years, it's only natural that we have a tendency to panic and over-dramatize these situations. Because typically, we were correct to panic. Usually when we thought the sky was falling, we weren't being paranoid. It really was falling. So I get why Browns fans freak out like this. But in the same way that the Browns organization is learning how to win, so is the fan base. And that means learning that sometimes the wins aren't going to be crisp, cool, Pepsi-style victories. Sometimes it's going to be an RC caliber win, or, and I don't want to panic anyone here, perhaps even a Fago Cola level win. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Yesterday, the passing game wasn't working. In seasons past, that would have meant the Browns were definitely going to lose that game because the other units just weren't good enough to pick up the slack. That is no longer the case. We won yesterday in spite of Baker because our running game is a horror story for defenses. We won because our defense once again played out of their minds and reminded everyone that despite rumors to the contrary, Kirk Cousins is still very much Kirk Cousins. We won because other people stepped up to overcome our deficits. And we won because we're now actually a legitimately good team. Get used to it. So, hold your RCs aloft, Browns fans, and let's toast to that beautiful, hideous win, because when you've been as thirsty as we've been for as long as we were, it seems a little silly to get hung up on the beverage selection. Slante, and go Browns.
And that right there is Exhibit A of the beauty and the uniqueness of Mike Polk. He somehow builds an entire Browns review around the contract that the team has with a soda maker. He's so good.
Yeah.
And don't sleep on Fago.
It's not
Red
the
Pop.
Fago. Yeah, I know, right? Shout out for Fago. And you know, the thing that kind of gets me is that for so long, we were like, it was a good loss. We had, you know, we almost won. And so it was kind of like we had the Coca-Cola of losses. And now we have the RC Cola of wins. So it's okay. Like, it's all going to work out in the end. It's all soda, and it's sugary and sweet and delicious. But I don't know where I was going with all that. But anyway, you see what I'm saying. I'm happy that they're winning, for sure.
I am too. And it was, Mike, great work, as always.
As always. Well, you're going to like this, too, because a lot of folks may not have seen this, but Baker not only runs, he throws, he also ties his teammates' shoes. During the third quarter, offensive guard Wyatt Teller had to stop to tie his shoe, but instead of waiting for the 6'4", 314-pound teammate to bend over to tie his shoe, Baker just did it himself. Bunny ears, perfect, beautifully done. They then went on to run and do their thing and finish out the game, most certainly. I wonder if it was a double knot. That's the one thing I didn't get to see, though. We're big double knot fans in this family,
well,
but yeah.
I'll tell you, when you're wearing gloves like Wyatt was, it can be very tricky to tie your own shoe. It takes a minute. Baker, realizing that, springs into action, calls the audible, quiets the crowd, goes down and ties the knot in record time, and the next play got off without a hitch. Crazy.
And you know the team is not going to let him forget that. Like, that running joke for him, but it's a pretty solid move by your star quarterback to get down on his knees and tie somebody else's shoes. I think that's a pretty sweet thing.
You got to take care of the guys that take care of you, and Baker did that yesterday for sure. Well, coming up next on What's New, tickets for an updated event on the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad. We're going to tell you when you can buy a ride to the North Pole. Plus, Amazon and Target are revealing early holiday deals from gifts to dinner. We're going to show you where and how you can save. But first, Matt is here with his weather in a jiffy. Hello again, Matt.
Hey, Jay, did you catch the Sunday Night Football game last night?
I did. Every second of it. It was riveting.
It really was. It stayed close the whole time. Belichick known for obviously no emotion on his face whatsoever. So I figured I'd tie that in to how he's feeling about the weather the next 7 days. He is feeling... I can't
Belichickian.
tell. Does he like it? Does he not like it?
You'd never know.
Should we call for help? Not sure.
We used to have...
All right, here it is on Victory Monday. The sun is shining every now and again. The rain is falling every now and again. But, Matt, I got to tell you, it's not snowing still. We really have not had a first frost, first freeze here in Northeast Ohio. So our growing season just kind of continues to linger on.
Yeah.
Wow. My shot looks crazy bright right now.
Oh,
Why is that?
There's an angel.
My TV went off.
Oh, well, that helps too.
Yes.
I thought you just turned into an angel, Betsy. I was like, wow, the wings are sprouting as well. I think you look great.
Oh, I'll fix it.
Got a little creepy at the end, actually. Anyway, you take care of that. We'll get that TV monitor fixed, and there you go. Pull up some Hulu while you're actually, you better pay attention to the forecast. I know what you're doing. Areas of fog tonight, they can be expected. We've got lots of moisture in place, a little ground moisture from the rain we've had last couple of days. It's kind of how it's gone. We haven't seen a lot of rain out of this. We weren't expecting to see scattered showers. They'll be around early tonight. There's not many left. Then we deal with the fog. Temperatures settling right down near that dew point overnight tonight. So we could have some areas of dense fog tomorrow morning, not just out in the country, but pretty much area wide. A couple leftover downpours out there. Ashtabula County had a good one, had another good one. Areas of northern Wayne County heading up towards Doylestown. Otherwise, most people are dry right now. You may see those clouds come in, quick downpour, then you're done. Here's the area low pressure. This thing's cut off from the jet stream, so it's barely moving. It's going to sink down to the south and kind of weaken tonight and tomorrow. It'll still be nearby tomorrow, but not expecting much left. Again, that jet stream way to the north, that's the driver of those big weather systems. This thing far removed from that, so there's not a lot of push to it in the atmosphere. 2,000 plus miles away, that's our active weather. It's off the west coast. You can see lots of activity in the Pacific right now. This will start to turn things more active really next week. Looks to be a pretty exciting week weather-wise on the west coast. Likely a decent snowstorm, perhaps severe weather in the plains. But until then, we're stuck with this thing. This is our cutoff low. National Design Mart look ahead. We'll go over the next couple days. Tomorrow, you can see low pressures here at weekends. Different lows, strengthens along the Gulf Coast. So maybe a lingering shower tomorrow. I think we see lots of sunshine. Should be a nice day. Wednesday, we stay dry as well, but we'll start to get that push from that secondary low down to the south end. So we'll increase the rainfall chance late in the day on Wednesday. So dry day Wednesday, late day we'll have to watch. Thursday, the low develops, heads off towards the north again, still meandering. You can see we have a decent rain chance Thursday and Friday. When does this clear out? That's the question. We'll clear it out Saturday, I think later in the day, but again, that could change, and then eventually things get flowing again. The atmosphere looks like this. Giant ridge, way above average for the eastern half of the country. Remember I said it gets active out towards the west. Watch what happens next week. Trough comes in, what goes down must come up. This will spin up a pretty powerful storm system as it looks right now. About a week from now, again, that could bring some snow out towards the west. But in terms of temperatures over the next 8 to 14 days, same thing holding. We'll have above average temps in the east, cooler out towards the west. We'll also stay with that humidity all the way through the week. Not tropical, but humid. Not what you expect for fall, right? Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. We're in the 70s through the duration until next week. We get that big push. Rainfall chances are highest Thursday and Friday. Weekend, not bad. We'll keep an eye on Saturday. Sunday looks good. Betsy, you look great.
All right. I got my best audio-visual people on it. I do everything myself. So. I have no idea if it's good or not. I'll have to discuss this later, but thank you so much, Matt. Jay, over to you.
All right, thank you. Right now, it's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. And hey, it's Monday, and it's a Victory Monday. So, Stephanie Haney, I imagine somewhere in your report you'll be talking about Clevelanders' reaction to the big win yesterday.
I am very happy to say yes, Jay. You are right about that. That is coming up. But first, it is a new month. It's October, and that's the start of spooky season. So we've got your trick-or-treating guide on WKYC.com. It's alphabetical from Akron to Worcester. A few notable mentions. Trick-or-treating will mostly be held on the 30th and the 31st, Saturday and Sunday, with the exceptions of Atwater a week early on the 24th, Navarre and Talmadge on the 28th, and in Worcester, there's not a set time for the city, so that'll be set by each individual neighborhood. Now remember, we told you before that Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad has a new Christmas experience. What you see here is a previous trip on the Polar Express, but this new ride is called the North Pole Adventure. Riders will write letters to Santa on their way to the North Pole, and the North Pole Postmaster will hand deliver them to the North Pole Post Office. If that sounds good to you, you better get to WKYC.com for the link to buy tickets because they go on sale tomorrow, Tuesday, and it is expected to sell out very fast. And yes, it is a very happy Victory Monday here in Cleveland. Here's what Browns fans are saying after that win over the Minnesota Vikings. Browns legend Joe Thomas said the defensive line really earned their paychecks on this one. A few players got name dropped, including Tack McKinley, Myles Garrett, Malik Jackson, Malik McDowell, and Jadeveon Clowney. The sentiment online was overwhelming that the defense won that game and really seems to be coming together nicely. As for the offense, Baker Mayfield really struggled connecting with the receivers, with some saying that everyone has a bad game, others saying it's actually not a bad game if you win. I don't know about that, Jay. I think you could have a bad game and win, but overall, people not being too hard on Baker. It was a win.
You know, winning hides a lot of warts. And I think yesterday you could have focused in on the play calling. You could have focused in on Baker's decision-making and inaccurate throws. But when you win, you just gather it up, you put it behind you, and you move on. Keep it moving. You're 3-1. The next 3 games are against really good teams. They've got to go to the Rams Sunday. They're 2-1, or the Chargers, I'm sorry, out in L.A. And then they come home against a 4-0 Arizona team. And then Thursday night, they play a Denver team that right now is 3-1. So you got to get it together fast.
Back-to-back, too. That's Sunday to Thursday, short.
That's always a really tough turnaround. Okay, Steph, thank you.
No problem.
Well, there's so many of you who may be watching What's New and actually looking at the screen for the first time in a long time because Facebook is down. It's shocking news, right? The outage continues to drag on for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. All 3 still appear to be down for many users. Some of our coworkers have been able to get on to Facebook's app, but not the web browser. The company has not yet said what is causing the outage. Facebook's internal systems also went down today, and the company did acknowledge there is an issue, but they've not elaborated on when the platforms will be completely back. Also, their stock prices have taken a bit of a tumble. Interesting. Well, next on What's New, the clock is ticking and retailers know it. We'll show you some of the early deals both Amazon and Target are showcasing ahead of the holidays. But that's not all. Grab some tacos as we celebrate National Taco Day. Yes, tacos on a Monday. I know, shocking. We have the deals that you can cash in on, especially if you're looking for dinner plans this evening. Ah, yes, it is Money Monday here on What's New, and today we're saving you money on holiday gifts and dinner.
Betsy, you had me at saving you money. Today, Amazon announced it's joining Target and starting holiday deals early this year. That's good news. The online retailer is pushing their Black Friday-worthy deals, which includes just about everything: toys, home goods, electronics, and more. And at the end of September, Target announced that it will have deal days, which will start on October 10th and run through October 12th.
And if you don't feel like cooking this evening, here is a great excuse to go ahead and order out. You have permission. You're celebrating. It's National Taco Day, and several stores are giving away tacos. Taco Bell is giving away a free crunchy taco by making a purchase on its app. 7-Eleven says its 7 Rewards members can get 10 mini tacos for $1. Chipotle is offering free chips and guac if you join their rewards program. And Moe's is offering free queso for joining their rewards program. Jay, of course, it's also a good idea to double check with your location to make sure they are participating before you try and cash in on these deals.
All right, that's always good advice. And I've just realized, looking at that picture, that tacos always sound good to me, 24/7. I mean, they look so good, they sound good. Hey, is tonight the night someone wins $685 million? After 40 drawings, still no Powerball winner. This is the 8th largest Powerball drawing in U.S. lottery history. No one has won the prize, Betsy, going all the way back to June 5th. So that begs the question, wow. $685 million, Betsy. How do you spend it?
I put my girls through school. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Pay off the house, pay some bills.
You have $684.5 million left. What are you going to do with it?
I'm not a really good person to ask because, I'm still thrifty. I would still be shopping at secondhand stores because I can't fathom paying full price for anything.
Would you really, even if you won $685 million? Wow,
yes,
no kidding.
I can't do it. It's just hard.
It's baked into your DNA cake. I mean, at this point, you are who you are. You can't apologize or change it. But $685 million, Bets, that's generational money. That's forever money. Even if you misspend it, that's forever money.
Yeah, you can make a difference.
Well, still ahead on what's new. You know his name. Very familiar face. CC Sabathia today is in New Jersey for a special tournament. We're going to tell you what makes this event so special. That's coming up in Show Us Something Good. Then on What Matters Most at 6, you may have noticed that many of the trees around here aren't changing colors yet. Betsy and Matt tag team what's going on with Mother Nature. That's next.
Hi, Jen. This thing won't work.
Hey, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brandon's microphone from Akron once again for the 6 p.m. What Matters Most newscast. Thanks. Awesome.
Hey, Al, how are you? Testing 1, 2, good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell, and I'm Lena Lai.
In today's show is something good. We're coming to you from Demarest, New Jersey, where a special celebrity charity golf tournament was today. And you know this guy, former Cleveland Indians pitcher and great CC Sabathia. He and his wife Amber founded the Pitch In Foundation, aiming to help inner city kids in both educational and athletic activities. Well, we caught up with CC today for what a charity golf outing day like this means to him.
Incredible feeling for us. I mean, it's something that, we feel obligated to do. Amber said we grew up in the inner city, and, we just want to be a vehicle for kids, through sports and education, and it's very fulfilling to be able to do that.
Well, the event even featured celebrities like Ja Rule and Michael Strahan. Colleague companies based in Hudson sponsored today's inaugural event. Well, Jay, hopefully we are all clear to get back to what somewhat normal life as we go through the day tomorrow. I'll be taking my nasal swab in the morning and hopefully reporting back that I will be there in person
Well,
tomorrow
we certainly
afternoon.
hope so. Betsy, thanks. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching What's New, What Matters Most with Russ and Lena starts right now.
Now at 6, deadly dog attack. A toddler in Akron killed by the family pet. What police are saying about the next steps in their investigation. Also, criminal crackdown.
This is the largest human trafficking sting in the history of the state.
Dozens of arrests and children's lives saved. Why the Ohio Attorney General says the push to end sex trafficking is still far from over. Urban Meyer in trouble. An explicit video making the rounds online as the former Ohio State coach and current head coach of the Jaguars issuing an apology. And the colors of fall? The calendar may say October, but some trees around Northeast Ohio still think it's summer. Our meteorologists explain why.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Lena Lai. Police described the scene as a nightmare. A 16-month-old girl was mauled to death by the family's pit bulls. Tonight, neighbors are questioning why the dogs were still there after an attack on a mail carrier over the summer. Brandon Simmons has the latest from Akron.
And that's what I can't get out of my head. Her screaming, and the 911 operator carrying that baby out. That'll always be with me.
Neighbors and Akron police say it was a horrific scene on Westmoreland Street Sunday morning, where 16-month-old Kaveh Lewis was mauled to death by the family's pit bulls.
This is a nightmare that, they're going through.
Kaveh's parents dropped her off at the home to her 20-year-old uncle who was babysitting for the day. Around 10:30, police got calls from neighbors who said the uncle was arguing and fighting with a female acquaintance who had come to the front door. As they fought just outside the home, the two dogs attacked Kaveh inside.
She had left. He had gone back inside the house, discovered what had happened to his niece, ran back outside and asked the neighbor to call 911.
Kaveh rushed to the hospital, but she did not survive.
They're absolutely destroyed by what happened. Nobody wanted this to happen to this child.
And this isn't the first incident involving these dogs. Neighbors remembering an attack on the mailman over the summer.
Bit him bad, bit his hand, bit his leg, and of course he didn't do nothing about it, but they don't deliver mail there no more.
I wouldn't let my grandkids play outside just because I didn't know, if the dogs were in the house.
Then the dogs were allowed to stay at the home. This time, police had Summit County Animal Control take the animals while they investigate what happened.
I'm reluctant to lay blame or responsibility on anybody right now at this point.
This evening, family members are heartbroken as neighbors wonder whether the attack could have been prevented.
Because of the incident with the mailman, they should have, I think, in my opinion, should have got rid of the dogs.
Now, again, this is still an open investigation and charges could come at a later time since dog owners are responsible for the actions of their dogs. And sadly, this family, Lena, is already paying the price with Kaveh's life.
All right, just awful. All right, thanks for the update, Brandon.
Today, Ohio revealed details of a statewide human trafficking operation. Attorney General Dave Yost said the crackdown resulted in the arrest of 161 people seeking to buy sex, along with the recovery of 10 missing children. Yost also said those arrested include a city council member, a firefighter, a teacher, and a pilot.
People who traffic other humans are doing it for a really simple reason: money. And if there's no market, if there are no buyers, there will be no trafficking.
Yost added that human trafficking is happening all across